All right, welcome back to Problem Solver Politics. I am your host, Cardinellis, with Cody the Oracle.
Hey, everybody.
And today we got a lot to talk about. Actually, Dave Chappelle's performances on behalf of Andrew Yang have actually become official. You can get tickets, you can mark your calendars, the whole 9 yards. It's officially official now, which also begs the question, what can some of these other people that have endorsed Andrew Yang, their celebrities, do? You brought up the point that Donald Glover did his cool pop-up shop and he's a creative consultant now. Is there another one of those that we could throw around? Could Jericho just have an exhibition match with Andrew Yang somewhere in Pershing Square or in Iowa?
Cut a promo for him at the very least.
Yeah, cut a promo, you know. Could he be like, listen, Andrew Yang is on my list and he should be on your list too, you know?
That's like a put on the list.
I don't mind going to West Hollywood. There's a couple of clubs down there where I could take my shirt off for money. But anyway, half the audience just unclicked out of this video. Anyway, what can be done, Cody, and what's going on? Hit us.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, like I said, we've talked about probably a little bit over a week, a little bit under a week ago now, about the rumblings of Dave Chappelle and Andrew Yang. They've been attached for a while. Anyways, today in a press release released by the campaign, they made it official. So comedian and actor Dave Chappelle endorses Andrew Yang for president, will campaign in South Carolina. Quote from Chappelle, "I'm Yang Gang." They also attached a lovely little picture here of the two gentlemen shaking hands. So very cool. You can add that to the picture of him and Elon Musk and the picture of him and Donald Glover. Some cool pictures going around with him. But the news thing here, we knew these two performances were coming for a little while. If you didn't, here they are now. But they also announced dates and locations. So I'll show you here on the screen. Fortunately, if you're not in the area of South Carolina, it's probably going to be tough to get down there in short notice. However, it is Wednesday, January 29th. They'll be having one in the Township Auditorium, and then Thursday, January 30th, the North Charleston Performing Arts Center. Looks like ticket information will be released soon, so pretty soon we'll have a better idea of how much per ticket it's going to be. I have to imagine for what looks like fairly intimate shows with Dave Chappelle, and maybe the Performing Arts Center is a little big, or the auditorium's a little large, but still, smaller fundraising events with someone like Dave Chappelle, they could probably charge a pretty penny. I mean, they will, because they'll charge you what, $500 just to shake hands with Yang. So to see private performance with Dave Chappelle, I have to imagine. But again, very similar to how I was saying.
Zach Grumman, with his economics background on Wall Street, definitely understands the value of these things.
Well, here's the thing too, as well.
He ain't giving those away for chump change.
Well, yeah, but also the way this came about, because I want to get to the other part of this discussion. Because the first thing is, here's the new stuff. Like I said, we officially today got the statement from Dave Chappelle saying, "I'm Yang Gang." We got the photo of him and Dave Chappelle doing the one finger, I guess. And then we also got the dates and locations. So that's very cool. However, what's interesting is I want to get a little bit to how this came about. Now, I believe it's in this Hill article I've pulled up right here. This article right here. Anyway, they met, when was it exactly? But I believe Dave's camp reached out to Andrew Yang, much in the same way it happened with Donald Glover, and basically said, "Hey, I want to meet with you." So Dave and Andrew actually met, sat down, talked for a while. Very similar, again, to how it worked with Donald Glover, where they kind of just, their camps got in touch. "I want to talk with you." After talking with them for a while, it became clear that Dave Chappelle did actually want to endorse Andrew Yang. I believe it says here what it says right here. So Dave's team reached out to our team, and they were thrilled to put the two of us together. Yang said, "We sat down, talked about his concerns for our country and what we need to do for the next generation." Dave's a dad like I am. And then after we met, he said, "Look, I want to help, and what can I do?" So it seems to be from I want to help, they came to, do they mention it here? I don't know if they mention it here.
An exhibition show on behalf of a candidate, if you're Dave Chappelle, is about as cool as it gets, man.
I'm guessing the way it went, from what I heard, Andrew Yang basically said, "We'd love if you could do some shows for us." And they settled in South Carolina, because I believe the Carolinas is the place Dave Chappelle is very close to and works out of a lot anyway. So it just kind of happened to work. Early state, Dave Chappelle's close there.
Well, also, South Carolina has the highest amount of African Americans that he struggles with in the biggest demographic. You know, Dave Chappelle can sell out wherever. I mean, he is a cross-cultural phenom. I think my dad's his biggest fan. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But he's really struggling with females. He's really struggling with the African American community. And there's some districts that are like 80% African American in South Carolina. So I think that's a very good strategic move. Send Dave Chappelle out there, sell out some seats. See if you can't augment him where he's struggling the most. And that's a good move. I think that's a good move.
No, I mean, of course it's a good move, but it got me thinking, because that is actually, as you brought up, it brings a lot of things together. Dave Chappelle is passionate about the campaign. He wants to help in an early state, and there's an early state he can help in that he's actually got a connection to and a tie to. And because I believe, I think it was in this article they brought up here, I think his father worked as like a pastor or something in the South Carolina or North Carolina. I don't want to get too far in Dave Chappelle lore. Bottom line is, it's good because, like you said, not only is he just some famous guy doing a concert in Iowa because they vote early, it's somebody in a community they actually have some kind of ties to, that have some kind of cachet. It's a bigger endorsement than if Dave Chappelle endorsed Andrew Yang by doing concerts in, like I said, maybe Iowa. Maybe it's got some Iowa ties I don't know about. But what's interesting to me is because that is the best way a celebrity endorsement can go. High-profile individual doesn't only lend their name to you, but also lends their expertise and what their craft is, why they're high-profile, as well as the regions they're prominent in. We saw it happen with Donald Glover out here when they did, I would say, a little bit similar, just because Donald Glover is a Hollywood guy, actor guy in movies. He was in Star Wars movies. Doing a pop-up clothing thing in LA on Fairfax is something that is unique to like that Los Angeles area. It's an effective way to get the word out and kind of add a little bit of that credence and cachet.
Yeah.
I always say, I was joking, when we were waiting in line for the Andrew Yang pop-up, it wrapped around the block. People kept walking up and saying, "Oh, what time slot is this?" I'm like, "What? Like, is this Supreme line?" No, the Supreme line's over there. So, I mean, it was a unique area to bring that kind of attention to. So I thought that was good. He's announced as a creative director, creative consultant now. But here's the thing. Andrew Yang has got some really nice celebrity endorsements piled up in the back. Yeah. Rivers Cuomo doing the concert for him during the Iowa event, that was huge. That was really big. That brought a lot of attention. And again, I don't know if there was a regional connection there, but you had Rivers Cuomo doing the thing he does and bringing attention that way. Just saying, I'm an actor and I endorse Andrew Yang, whatever, later, doesn't have the same credence of, an actor acting in a commercial for somebody on behalf of I endorse Andrew Yang.
Yeah, so it's the difference between passive endorsement and active endorsement, and there's a huge difference.
And so I went a little bit long there because I want to get to this one last thing I want to ask you. So they listed this Washington Examiner article, fairly incomplete, but mostly of the big name list. So in the recent weeks, the Yang campaign announced support from Stephen Yeun of The Walking Dead, Golden Globe winning actress Terry Hatcher of Desperate Housewives, actor Dane DeHaan of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, comedian Ken Jeong of Community, and the Hangover director and screenwriter James Gunn. What? And not to flame any of these people, but we haven't really seen a whole lot of these people doing anything. I will say Terry Hatcher hosted a fundraiser in Los Angeles.
Yeah, we saw her get
that was very good. But I'm saying is these high-profile, prominent. Like I was talking around on Twitter before. Could you imagine some random person who doesn't know all about politics watching a 15-second unskippable YouTube ad of all these people saying they endorse Andrew Yang? They'd be like, "Wow, who's Andrew Yang guy?" I mean, there's a very big kind of war chest of valuable celebrity assets that he's building up. But I'm wondering, Dave Chappelle doing fundraising comedic events, that's a great idea. Donald Glover designing the clothes for the pop-up was a great idea. Like to see more done with that. Yeah. And I just wonder what are some other ways the campaign can maybe try. A lot of these people, and again, Elon Musk, of course, we have to bring up. A lot of these people might say, look, I'll endorse you, but I'm not going to do a commercial, which I could understand. But I'm wondering if the campaign could perhaps leverage some of these names better for something.
Yeah,
right?
And Andrew Yang is constantly saying, Donald Trump hasn't come after me because I do the internet better. Well, prove it, dog. Like, where is this IP address targeted marketing with all these celebs that you got in your, in your back pocket? Have you and Elon sat down and had lunch and said, okay, where's the Cybertruck, exhibition activity that's got the Yang welded into the side or something? Like, where's the SpaceX launch? You know what I'm saying?
Cybertruck was,
So like, if you do the internet better and you can get guerrilla marketing, as we call it in the traditional marketing world, if you internet better, then prove it, man. Like, now's your time. You've got those $15 million the Yang Gang entrusted you with. And the only thing you've showed us is that you can buy commercials like the traditional politicians. Oh, but wait, they're billionaires and can outspend you. You know what I'm saying? So bro, you got to hit the boomer demographics, right? But with the entry of Tom Steyer's tens of millions now and Bloomberg's tens of millions, which is probably hundreds, you know what I'm saying? You really got to go back to just that underground stuff that you do well. So milk those connections, baby. Get more of these I would literally say, hey, what other comedians endorse me? Let's cut a promo. What other wrestlers endorse me? You know what I'm saying? Let's do some kind of event. Cody, you're flashing all kinds of cool stuff in front of the screen. What's going on? Hit me.
Well, no, I want to to your point. I just want to show up to your point. Look, Judge Judy, she's not above doing a commercial for Michael Bloomberg and posting it on the internet. Do you think a celebrity like you mentioned sitting down doing something like this for 30 seconds of their time and publishing it for Andrew Yang could help? Like, I just want to. Just as you were saying, I wanted to show to your point, other people are doing this for other candidates. Bernie Sanders, I'll pull one up in a second, but just, see what I mean?
Yeah. So if your claim is that you do the internet better than Donald Trump, let's see it. Like, I want to see it. Okay? Not just the hive mind of the Yang Gang, which is working overtime, man. The Yang Gang are the most voluntary, indentured servitude people I've ever seen in my life, Let's see the campaign really make official some of this stuff and do the internet better than Donald Trump will. And by the way, you can't do the internet better than Donald Trump until you do the internet better than Biden, Bloomberg, Steyer, Warren and Sanders. Okay? You can't do the internet better than Trump until you do it better than all the Democrats in line before you. Cody, where do I go wrong?
I think perhaps you were a bit heavy-handed in it. I would just say closer to. I'm showing a video right here of Danny DeVito endorsing Bernie Sanders for president, doing a little video for him, showing up at events. I just want to point out and highlight, kind of to your point, it's not like Andrew Yang is getting all these celebrity endorsements. The Rivers Cuomo performance, that was awesome. Dave Chappelle performance plan, that is awesome. But there does seem to be something interesting. Like Michael Bloomberg has Judge Judy do a short commercial for him on his Twitter ad. I don't like it. It's weird. I was trying to come to mind stuff like this happening. It comes to mind with Bernie Sanders a lot. I think there's a Bernie Sanders video. I think Justin Long and some other celebrity, and they're just sitting there talking to you about Bernie Sanders, and they put it on digital. I do wonder why the Yang campaign hasn't. I don't know if it's been an issue of securing the time for the people to do these things. I don't know what it is, but like, what's the loss here? Running a Danny DeVito ad for Bernie Sanders for president I doubt this was like the most expensive, difficult thing they had to do. They're probably mostly able to just
especially not for ideologically motivated people that are willing to show up for freaking free.
I
doubt he was paying Danny DeVito's day rate. I don't think Danny DeVito charged the $50K he charges everybody else per day of shooting, plus 5% royalties on the product. Yes. All right.
Sorry, I got to be out here by 4. You guys got to hurry.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I bet you Danny DeVito was like, yeah, sure. Hey, this is my time slot. This is when I can do it. But yeah, anything for you, Bernie. Because these are ideologically motivated people. That's great. Like, I want there to be more civic engagement. Like, irregardless of what you think of socialism, if Bernie's your guy, I want you out there articulating why he's your guy and why you think it works. And while simultaneously being open to other citizens who are advocating for other candidates and other ideas, saying why they think they're their candidates and those are their ideas, so everybody can listen. And as Thomas Jefferson said, out of the clamor of many voices, the truth can be established. Okay? So I love that Danny DeVito is out there screaming into a microphone that he feels the burn. Okay? I think Bernie Sanders' ideas are horrible, and I will gladly tell you why. But I love that he's out there doing it because that is civic involvement and we need that. So where is the person that's screaming into the microphone as passionately with as much profile as Danny DeVito has on behalf of Andrew Yang? Where is that person, baby? Let's find him and let's ask him to do it. I think he's got ones that could.
What's interesting, you see people on Twitter say that. I was just on Just People magazine scrolling through various celebrities endorsing people. And yeah, like, for example, how awesome would it be if when Andrew Yang sat down and talked with Donald Glover, when he sat down and talked with Dave Chappelle, some of his people, what if they just said, hey, mind if we double back in a few weeks and film an hour of it like they did with Bernie Sanders or Cardi B? Not to single Bernie out on this aspect, but he's done a pretty good job of leveraging his celebrity endorsements. He's finding a way to actually turn them into content to put in front of people. Seems to be something Andrew hasn't done so much.
By the way, doesn't she look like she's a little mage or a wizard or a sorceress casting a spell on him in that thumbnail? Like, it looks like she's like channeling his energy. Like, this is like the Witcher, like, you know what I'm saying?
I gotta admit, that is not what I saw from that photo. But anyway, I'll really have much to say on this. I don't want to go too far over exactly what happened, which is that Dave Chappelle endorsing Yang, it's 100% official. Dates have been announced. Locations have been announced. We'll probably retweet out when they tweet out the ticket information. So if you haven't seen it by then, you will see it when we tweet it out. Because I'm curious how much tickets will go for. I imagine they could charge a lot and they could raise. Again, the reason why they're charging us to raise a lot of money for the campaign. It's not to buy a boat in summer. It's to raise money for the campaign. So a lot of people won't mind spending a lot of money for these. It is.
Where's the poor people's performance though? Like, we don't have $500 for a ticket.
It is reminiscent a little bit of the idea of perhaps something kind of like. It's getting closer to the big $10,000 a plate celebrity dinners in Los Angeles. But at the same time, I think a comedy show with Dave Chappelle in South Carolina is a lot different than $10,000 a plate lunch with celebrities in someone's mansion.
They got to be wise with this,
It's a big difference there, too.
They got to be wise with this because, like, for example, today, Cenk Uygur completely called out Christy Smith to her face for taking large donations from lobbyists and super PACs. Okay. And in the progressive wing of the Democrat Party, the amount of donations is huge. I mean, we just made a video, 8 or 9 videos ago about Pete Buttigieg actually asking his donors to repetitively donate very small amounts just so he could lower his average and seem a little bit more grassroots, right? So this new push towards having a lower donation amount with higher volume, okay, as the way of financing campaigns is really what the progressive wing is looking for, right? So if and there's tons of progressives that support Andrew Yang. I swear it's either like libertarian Trumpian people, you know what I'm saying? Or else progressives that support Andrew Yang, because honestly, they're the first wings of either party that are willing to accept new ideas first. And his idea, though it is old, is perceived as new. Irregardless, there's a lot of progressives that support Andrew Yang. And I think it would be a good idea maybe to have 2 of the high dollar ones, but then have a third one where the tickets aren't expensive. They're very affordable. And guess what? If that one sells out, then it's based on a lottery or something. You know what I'm saying? But I think there is value in making sure that this isn't just a fundraising event for rich people so you can get accused of wine caving it with Dave Chappelle, but have maybe a third show where it's lottery based if you get in. I think that would be completely fair.
Very much. I only got one thing to say.
What?
One thing
I
to say.
should be a consultant. Donald Glover, Dave Chappelle, Cardin Ellis.
Do you know how Oxford defines the word irregardless? What it means?
Irregardless. No. How does Oxford define it?
Irregardless means regardless, because it's not actually a word. Anyway, that's all I got to say on that.
That's funny, because I was about to say, well, you can't say it's not regardless. That would be a double negative.
It's not a real word. It just people say that instead of regardless sometimes. So Oxford actually has it listed as a definition for regardless. Anyway, that's it.
Did you just dunk on my grammar, dog?
When you said it, I was like, what does that mean again? I looked it up and I found out what it meant. So I learned something today. But yeah, I mean, okay. I think to the larger point, I just thought it was funny that I happened to pull it up and that's what it meant. And that was a cute little thing. But otherwise, I agree with what you said. Yeah, I agree 100% that. Again, probably a little bit more reined in version of it. But the idea that Andrew Yang probably could, I don't want to say probably could because I don't know the behind the scenes. But man, if he was able to leverage some of these things, do sit downs, I mean, just find a way to promote. Like, remember when they made the poster for the Andrew Yang Donald Glover pop-up? Why is that imagery not shared by the campaign a lot?
Yeah.
That was a cool poster.
Milk it.
The one that says, this is the simulation where we win. It was really cool. Why was that not leaned on heavier in the messaging? Remember when Shepard Fairey did the Hope thing for Obama? Basically changed the imaging of the campaign. This was the imaging of the campaign now. I wonder why they didn't lean on it. I don't know what... Like I said, I actually am not behind the scenes in the campaign to say what it is. I don't know if it's an intentional decision. I don't know if it's just a lot of things going really fast and some stuff's getting slipped through the cracks like that. I'm not sure, but man, it feels like a missed opportunity. It really does.
Yeah. So anyway, there's Cody flexing his 201 IQ. Let us know what you guys think. All right. In the comments below. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, please subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at PSP Radio 1. This is Problem Solver Politics. See you guys in the next video.